Hello and welcome back to Mr. Hall's Read Alouds. This is part 2 of Desmond Cole Ghost Patrol, The Sleepwalking Snowman. Let's begin. Chapter 4, Snowball Bully. Since Zax couldn't stop giggling every time he looked at my boots, Desmond and I decided to leave him at home. After all, we were on a serious mission. No giggling allowed. Soon we were at Carter's house across from Curseville Park. Carter yawned big and loud. Sorry, I couldn't sleep last night. He walked across the yard and stopped near a tree. Desmond and I followed him. The spot was completely empty. This is where I built the snowman. Right away, Desmond opened his backpack and got to work. A few minutes later, he had set up some flags and tied yellow tape around that part of the yard. Desmond called it the Ghost Patrol Scene. He really took his job seriously. Finally, Desmond said, "Carter, tell me about your snowman." Carter pulled a slip of paper out of his pocket. Here, I wrote down all the details. Desmond nodded. I could tell he liked this Carter kid. After reading the notes, Desmond searched the Ghost Patrol scene, looking for clues. Then he dropped to his knees and pulled out a ruler? Desmond Cole had a ton of gadgets in his backpack. Why would he need a ruler of all things? Do you see what I see? Desmond asked, measuring the snow. Look at these. I bent down. When I looked closely, I could see that there were footprints. They were plain with no boot treads or anything. They looked kind of fluffy, too. Whoever moved the snowman must have been lighter than air. Suddenly, something freezing cold hit my head. Ah! I screamed. What was that? Thud! It hit me again, but this time I knew what it was. A snowball! Hey! I yelled, looking around. That's not cool! Another snowball hit me on the arm. I ducked down. Oh no, Desmond hollered. It's Cindy Lee. Run for it. Across the street, I saw a little girl with an armful of snowballs pop out from behind a tree, and just like an automatic pitching machine, she threw those snowballs at us fast and hard. No one had to tell me twice. I ran away. Who is Cindy Lee? She's the neighborhood snowball bully, said Desmond. Nobody can win a snowball fight against her. She never misses, and you never see her coming. We reached the back of Carter's house, and everyone stopped to catch their breath. Just once, Carter huffed. I'd love to win a snowball fight against Cindy Lee. That wouldn't be easy. She hit me with so many snowballs that I looked like a snowman. But thanks to my boots, my toes were still super toasty. Chapter 5, The Snowdrift. We waited, silent and still, listening for signs of the snowball bully. But all we heard was nothing. It was a perfectly quiet winter day. We peeked our heads out and stared at the park across the street. Cindy Lee was gone. Desmond waved a plan to us with his hands. He wanted us to split up and check behind all the trees in the park for the missing snowman. I had a hand signal of my own. It meant, let's go home and have a cup of hot chocolate. Unfortunately, nobody understood my signal. So we split up and searched the park. Desmond went one way, and Carter went the other. Before I knew it, I was all by myself. Warm feet or not, I didn't like being alone, especially when I was looking for someone I didn't really want to find. Sure, there were other kids and parents in the park, but none of them knew that a snowball bully was on the loose. I ducked from one tree to the other, expecting Cindy Lee to jump out any second, but I didn't find her anywhere. I started to relax. That was when a kid on a sled flew by me at top speed. He was moving so fast that I had to jump out of his way. I landed in a huge snowdrift. Ow! I moaned, lying there. That hurt. Leaning against the snowdrift, I had an idea. I could use this as a fort in case Cindy Lee came back. I started making snowballs and putting them in a pile. Then I noticed something very weird about my winter fort. It had two huge snowy feet. Looking up, I saw buttons, a long red scarf, and a black hat. I stood up, forgetting all about Cindy Lee, and stared at my fort. It had a face, with a carrot nose and scary teeth. I almost screamed. This wasn't a snowdrift. This was the biggest snowman I had ever seen. It looked so creepy that I waved my arms in front of it to make sure it wasn't alive. The snowman didn't move, but this was Curseville. Almost everything here was haunted. So I did the most logical thing I could think of. I climbed onto the snowman and tried to pull off its carrot nose. I tugged and tugged, but it was frozen in tight. Hey, Desmond and Carter, I yelled, come here. A few seconds later, Desmond came over alone. It's just me. Carter was tired, so he went home to go to sleep. Whoa, that's a big snowman. Are you trying to climb to the top? No, I grunted as I planted my feet on the snowman's chest to pull harder. I'm trying to get this carrot. Desmond stared at me in awe. You're weird, Andres. Just let it go. This snowman isn't going anywhere. Chapter 6. Frightful Weather. Do you think this is Carter's missing snowman? I asked after I climbed down. Desmond walked around and pulled out the paper that Carter had given him. There's only one way to find out. We will follow this list. That made sense to me. Are there 3 buttons? Asked Desmond. Check, I said. This snowman had 3 buttons. And a red scarf? Check. And a black... But before Desmond could finish talking, he heard a strange noise. It sounded like a low groan. What was that? I asked. Desmond shrugged. Don't know. Then we heard it again, but it wasn't a groan. It was a yawn, and it came from the snowman. The creature lifted its arms high into the air and yawned again. The snowman is waking up, Desmond screamed. Come on! Desmond ran, but I was too scared to move. I was frozen. Well, everything except my toasty toes, but you already knew that. Andres, Desmond yelled, move! The snowman looked at me and smiled with its jagged, scary teeth. Then it leaned over and let out a sound that came from deep inside all that snow. It was a growl. I could definitely run now. The snowman stumbled after us with its arms outstretched. It was trying to snatch us, or it was trying to eat us. Either way, I didn't want to find out. Desmond and I ran across the park. We jumped over kids on sleds. We slid under teens practicing on snowboards. We swooped along the cross-country trails, weaving in between skiers. Nothing was going to stop us, nothing, until whack! A snowball hit the side of my face. Cindy Lee was back. Whack! Whack! Ow! Desmond and I screamed as snowballs crashed all around us. Cindy Lee was hiding behind a tree, and she had a pile of snowballs beside her. We were trapped. If we ran one way, we'd be attacked by a snowball bully. But if we ran the other way, we'd be eaten by a snowman monster. Desmond and I nodded at each other. There was only one thing to do. We ran toward Cindy Lee, and nobody could have been more surprised than Cindy Lee herself. She pelted us with snowballs until she saw the overgrown snowman chasing us. Her eyes widened bigger than big, and before we knew it, all three of us were running from the snowman together. Actually, Cindy Lee was way faster than we were. She was gone in a flash. Me, on the other hand, I slipped and tumbled into the snow, hard. Luckily, we were at the top of an icy hill, and I slid down it on my back. "Great idea," Desmond called as he leaped into the air head first. He slid down the hill on his belly and caught up to me. Then we glided onto the crowded ice rink at the bottom of the hill. We kept sliding until we crashed right into a heating lamp. I closed my eyes, waiting to be grabbed by that snowman, but nothing happened. So I opened my eyes just in time to see the snowman. It was still at the top of the hill, looking down at us. Its stare sent shivers through my body. But it didn't come after us anymore. Instead, it turned around and walked back into the woods. And we will stop right there for today. And until next time, have a great day.